All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. I've been wanting to get this video done for some time. I did an introductory one, a quick one on a straight talk phone. Thank heavens I have it. Thank you, dear sister. Not that she bought it for me, I bought it for her and she didn't want it. But anyway, awesome that I have it. It came in very handy on an extended trip that was going to be a 2-day, well, late Friday to Sunday afternoon, basically 2 days. And it turned into a week-long excursion, kids camp, archery teaching, and all that good stuff. So it was a great time. But so anyway, I'm going to try to get this one done, get it uploaded tonight, so I can maybe pick up a few more patrons. Yes, anyone who subscribed before this, there was like 4. Absolutely. I mean, you're all going to be, you all get the full tiers. I'd still need to figure out how to do all that. But, there's going to be some things that some people may not want to listen to. Fine, just don't listen to it. If I read Lucifer's Hammer, it's, I've said before, it's a quintessential survivalist book. I considered it for decades, about four decades, to be the best post-toasty book. In other words, learn how people will react when things get tough, when the S hits the F. And people will be, very brutal. So anyway, that's not the subject of this. It is and it isn't, okay? So what I want to do is cover the different tiers and give you an idea of my, this whole thing is geared and kind of built around the concept of the Ozark Plateau being a gigantic fortress, a gigantic castle, a gigantic land of Goshen in the middle of the United States, literally in the middle of Earth. My icon is Gandalf, and he was the protector of Middle Earth. When the angel, the messenger, we all as a family would stay till the last credit rolled. That was a long movie. Everybody went to the bathroom. And then we're out in the van. And I come out, I'm standing there, I go to the bathroom, I see that thing, and I just go, my shoulders just dropped, and my head dropped. And right at my right shoulder was a man who said, "Would you like me to take your picture?" And I said, "Yes, please." He took a picture, looked at it, and looked at me, and he said, "Which one is Gandalf?" And I really thought there'd be a message there for me from the Father, and I believe that was a message. There are others. If you don't like me drinking, too bad. I got to keep my voice in shape. Okay, so go to the ideas that Middle Earth and the Ozark Plateau. I pegged it out. Someday I hope to get my big computer up and running. I have many measurements on there and just interesting stuff. But literally, I pegged it out. 500 miles from the northwest corner to Canada is 500 miles. From the, if I didn't say that right, don't worry about it. From the southern corner, like the southwest corner, to Mexico is 500 miles. From the western corner to the Rockies is 500 miles. And from the eastern corner to the Appalachians, 500 miles. So, just a coincidence. Nothing to see here. Move along. If you believe in coincidences, you're on the wrong channel. I don't. The Ozark Plateau is perfectly designed at creation as a gigantic fortress, complete with a completely intact water supply underneath it. Kansas, in southeastern Kansas, they did a moratorium. They would not let you drill a well for 2 years while they studied the water table. And when they were done, they said, drill as many wells as you want. Well, a friend of mine went and bought his own well drilling rig. Out in Kansas, you can drill your own well. He said, I can drill 50 wells on my property. He had a 17-acre garden. All right, so anyway, the idea is different levels of preparing ahead of time to help people. Now, some people are going to come out with a shirt on their back. They're not going to be adequately supplied. The picture that you see there is a picture from the Martin Handcart Company in Mormon history, where they walked, I kid you not, they walked 1,300 miles from Iowa City to Salt Lake, and got caught in a blizzard because they left too late. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, thinking outside the box. You don't have to drive oxen. If you can't afford it, you can walk. If you don't have a car, you can walk. A cart, a big cart like that, will get you there. Will get you here easily. They walk 1,300 miles. Some of you only have to walk 500. No big deal. Get good boots. Get good clothing. Have more than 17 pounds of supply of food per person. They were only allowed 17 pounds. Not enough. And the walk was a little bit longer, a little bit harder, and a little bit more difficult, especially when you leave in August and you're facing howling blizzards, 100-year blizzards in the high Rockies, the high plains. So anyway, so runners, first level runners, the first cheer, Handcart Company. Some will be runners literally from Deacon who will help their own so they can help others. They will drive if they can, but will walk if they must drive now or walk later. And you know what? The reason that I came down to Arkansas was because a sister who wanted to have a place for her family, and most of them are in Texas, those 5 words changed her life and changed my life. So, yeah, drive now or walk later, because she was looking at Ava, Missouri area, which is great, wonderful, but it's in the center of the Ozark Plateau. And she thought, what if my grandchildren have to walk? I need to be as close to them as possible. And I've advised that to a lot of people, but she picked it up. This was just, okay, the Holy Spirit, but there has to be a certain level of, intelligence, of thinking capability. Robert Heinlein said, most people can't think at all. Those who can think don't do it very often. Most people who can think don't think well. And the people that think persistently, consistently, thoroughly, analytically, without self-deception, these are the only people that matter in the long run. Because you can call them crazy, but who changes the world? Crazy people. Who stopped the Muslim horde at Tours? One man, and he was prepared his entire life for that one battle. Okay, Charles the Hammer Martel. Had it not been for that, Europe would have invaded many, many years ago, as it's being invaded now, just in a more violent manner. And really not more violent. But anyway, I digress. But I digress, as Richie from Boston would say. Okay, so next. And I'm going to show this one too. I thought I had more up on that one, but I don't. Maybe not. No. Okay. So, okay. Handcart Company. Then the next one is Watchmen. Watchtowers on the ramparts. Some will be watchmen who will build watchtowers on the ramparts for communications and search and rescue. They will guide and warn others and man the watchfires of 1,000 circling camps. Bugs. Kill them all. All right. And they will also be doing, search and rescue, communication, search and rescue. From a tower, a high tower, a tube, okay, a PVC tube with a, where is it? Something like this. There's a sensitive touch. I don't know, I'm not sure this one is. I didn't know. Definitely not. Okay, but some of them, my favorite one, Streamlight. If you just touch the switch, it works. And I had, you don't like LEDs? Well, too bad. This is a solar panel, totally waterproof, battery powered, rechargeable, charges itself up, has a sensor here, you can't quite see it. But I'm just using it as backlighting so that you can actually see me because it's dark and there's no lighting here. It's off-grid. I just got this one. I don't think it is going to do this, what I was saying. But, anyway, with the proper light, and that's not going to happen. Oh, that doesn't even have a beam. That's only for backlighting. So, got a magnet. All right, quit playing with them. Get lights, get lights, get lights. Everready has a headlight. Ah, geez, I just saw it. There it is. It's on. Okay, I've got it behind a jar for backlighting. Rechargeable and good port, you know, waterproof port, water resistant port, and it's got a spot. Yep, that's a spot. You can't even see it. Okay, there. And then a lower setting that's off, and then on the left it has flood. You know, 2 floods, lower setting and off. So it's nice. Very good for seeing bugs to kill them. Okay, so, and I will never apologize for talking about lights, because as much for the entire time I've been out here in the country, in the Ozarks, we have always, everybody knows, my family knows, my friends know, you have to have lighting, because you're going to be doing stuff after dark. And as much as I harp on it, like right now, my favorite light is a Poxelli, rechargeable. I haven't seen it for 2 weeks since I was with Stephen. So I think it's packed away. I think it's in a bag, but I haven't seen it. So I got a Everready at Walmart. I got the first one on Amazon. Don't ever leave home without a headlight. As much as I harp on that, as much as I talk about that, I have done it repeatedly. And they're hard to find. You lose them, you misplace them, so just get some backup headlights. I don't care. There's, you know, at Walmart you can get, like, for $10 you can get 2 headlights, 2 pen lights, and 2 of these cheapy AAA, double AAA-ers. So, and I don't think that's doing much. And these are, you know, but they do have the COB, the COB, the flat strip there. That's a surface-mounted device, SMD. Puts out pretty good light. Try that up there. All right, so anyway, get lights, get multiple kinds, get LEDs. I should sell them, right? This one has a flashlight and a work light, a magnet, and a hanger. The only thing, as long as this type has been out, that irritates me is that you have to have a little screwdriver to take the thing off, which is really stupid. All right, so, and that one would do good as a backlighting. All right, so anyway, and I'm harping on that under this one because for search and rescue, you're going to have to be able to see in the dark. And red, a guy who's worked all over the country, boilers and stuff, I had a red light, you know, red LED, and he goes, "What's that for?" I'm like, you've been trained by OSHA and safety and stuff. Now, you notice this one only flashes, which is stupid. But whatever. You don't want it flashing. You want one to hold down by your leg to see the path, and people high up can't see it. It doesn't shine as far. An LED, some of the LEDs can be seen for 10 miles. 10 miles. A bright one. So, if there's danger around, if you're trying to rescue someone who's being pursued by troops, by military, by gangs, by wild animals, you don't want to be seen. You're not going to want to be seen. You're going to want to see and not be seen. Like one time I asked my 5-year-old daughter, you know, we've gone to a lot of patriot meetings, militia meetings, you know, and I just thought, I'm going to test her and see what has she picked up anything, you know. If she's been paying attention at the meetings, I said, why would you wear camouflage? So they can't see you. And why would you not want them to see you? So you can sneak up on them. This is people or animals. And why would you want to sneak up on them? Though you can kill them. She's been paying attention. So, like I said, we raised our kids in our arms. You know, we took them to every meeting. We didn't mollycoddle him. We didn't protect him. We didn't shelter him. By the time my oldest son, Ian, was 14, him and I were at a meeting to shocker. And our friend, my wife's best friend, said if it weren't for the fact that my daughter was here, I'd be laying in the middle of the aisle in a fetal position, sobbing like a baby. It was scary to some people. Now, my son, 14 years old guy's in a bathroom. He's in one urinal. My son's in the other urinal. And the guy says, "This is fairly disconcerting." He's shaking. And Ian looks down and he goes like, when you've heard it as long as I have, it's just boring. You know, it's just, you know. So he paid attention. And he was tough. Okay, so Handcart is the first one, and then Watchtowers, second one. They'll guide warn hunters, man the watchfires of 1,000 circling camps. And there's an article. Read that article. Phenomenally cool article. So the pews what you pay. Handcart's $3. Get this over here. I'm showing that one just so you can see what it looks like on the page, and if it doesn't ever load up. That's what it looks like there. There's a clickable hot link there for the new wine outpouring. Okay, then the third tier, $20. And what was 5? So 3, 5, 20. Houses, healers, houses of healing. Some will be healers who will build houses of healing. They will anoint with oil and pray and bind up wounds and help heal the brokenhearted. Now, let me tell you something. This off-grid facility, whatever, retreat, homestead, call it what you want, is basically, for me right now, a house of healing. And that's the vision of a lot of people. I have known when, in 2015, I said to my partner, I said, you know, I have been pushing so hard, my business partner, that ended up firing me, and taking everything, in the fifth year when the fruit of your orchard is, you can actually eat the fruit of your orchard. In other words, it should have gone to fourth year to Yahweh. And then the fifth year you can eat it. Well, it was the fifth year and he fired me and just stole everything. On him, no big deal. It set me free. He schmeat-taught me, and then, of course, that was an excuse to someone else to schmeat-taught me to set me free. So, hallelujah. But I told him, I said, you know, I've been pushing for like 80, you know, since 1980. I should have a sabbatical. Why is it, let me ask you this, answer me this. Why is it that public school teachers, who are the most pagan, democratic, I'm not even going to use any more descriptive words. You can fill in all the blanks yourself in whatever language you want. Why is it they get a sabbatical? Answer me that. I know I've needed a sabbatical. Every time I go somewhere new and it's like, oh man, this feels like home. I like to rest for a while. Okay, it's too much fun, too much work to do, but I need a break. And so with the leg here, it's been a really wake-up call. I mean, this is the third or fourth time I've gotten cellulitis. It can be absolutely fatal. The first time, like I said, it almost shut my heart. All my organs down. My body temperature probably was, I don't know, below 40 anyway, I would think. I don't know, it was way down there. So anyway, houses of healing, okay, sanitarium, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I am now finally, not only, I had a wake-up call about physically, okay, I'm older. Now, I knew a guy that's 80-some years old who couldn't hardly walk from one end of his bus to the other. He was dying, literally, in Arizona. Brother Joseph. He's now up in Idaho, and he can hoof an 80 to 90-pound log up the 2 flights of stairs it's up to a barn, which is a long ways. It's not just a short stairway, and split it up there. He told me his resting pulse and his working pulse and it was like he has the body of a 20-year-old. Okay, so I'm going to shoot for that. And I was already got the message, hey, I need to get in better shape. I can easily lose 100 pounds and not know where it went. I would probably leave it everywhere. But I'd already gotten that wake-up call, and then hard on the heels of that was the next one was get in shape, food, resting. This morning, I mean, for the first time since I don't remember when I did a video when I first came down to Arkansas, and I was like, I don't remember seeing a sunset. I mean, literally being outside and watching the sun come up. Well, this morning I was up and awake and working by 5:30, and it's just like that was unheard of because I used to a night owl. A lot of you that have followed me for a long time, you know, you would consistently get emails from 3 or 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I would, if I could come home, sit down at the computer and be so tired that I could have laid down on the concrete floor and gone to sleep. And bing, computer's on. 10, 12 hours later, I'm still working, you know, researching. So anyway, enough of that. Now, just one little thing here. I just got to say, look at that structure there. Right over the door and in the middle, there's a double diamond. There's double diamonds. My son built that. I'm not sure he did it deliberately, but his probably did. Double diamond is his, you know, his business, Double Diamond Builders. But there's 2 diamonds in there, and there's 2 60-degree triangles, equilateral triangles in each of them. That's the Ozark Plateau. 2 facing 160-degree angles and 120-degree angles. That means ark, healing, safety, and refuge. 333. All right. If you see 333, it means get on the ark. And if you see 120, that means where the ark is. Okay, so next, captains, cities of refuge. Some will be captains who will build cities of refuge. They will house and protect the lost and the weary, the widows and the orphans, strangers and the priest. And this is so critical. If you are toting your Torah around, I mean, whoever coined the phrase Torah toters, sacred namers, if you're wearing tzitzit on your garments and you are not doing everything you can to help widows and orphans and strangers, it's in Torah, it's in the law. Remember to take care of the stranger, for you were once strangers in Mitzrayim. That's one of the biggest, most important things in both Old and New Testament. Don't forget to entertain strangers. Why? Because you might be entertaining angels unawares. And some of you already have entertained angels. What's an angel? A messenger. And you told them to get out. You told them, this is not a hospital. Heal yourself. Pack your things and get out. Okay? I heard those words personally. I'm not going to say who said them. No big deal. It's on them. But I was a stranger. I was sick. I could have died. And we're not a hospital. Get out of here. You know? Okay. Well, I was a messenger to him. To him. That person, not anybody else. That person. Okay. And the priest. Priest. Now, we're not necessarily calling Levitical priesthood, but the Melchizedek. The Zadokian priesthood will be in existence until the second coming. There are priests alive today. Take care of them. Those who are actually doing the work of the priest, you'd better be taking care of them. You'd better be taking care of the stranger. You'd better be taking care of the orphans, and you better be taking care of the widows. And if you're not doing that, you are absolutely and utterly breaking the law. You're breaking Torah. You're breaking the Old and New Testament. You're breaking everything that the entirety of Scripture is built upon. Watch Sons of Korah. Listen to Sons of Korah on Psalm 94. If you are oppressing a widow, you are in deep trouble. Okay? If you're a widow, let me say this. If you are a widow, we need to have more prayer. One of my best and favorite subscribers is a widow, I found out. And she's been praying for me. And when all this started happening, she says, my prayers for you, he says, I now know that my prayers for you have been answered. She's been praying for this stuff to happen. It is. Okay. It's going to go light speed. It's going to go into overdrive. It's going to go hit the nitrous button, whatever. Okay. There's a trickle now, has been for decades. There's going to be a steady stream, become a steady stream. There's going to be a river, and then a flood, and then a tsunami of people coming here. So deal with it. Now listen, You people that are here in the Ozark Plateau, and you don't want people moving here, too bad. Brother Stephen gave me the saying. I don't know where he got it from, but Yahweh is moving his pieces around on his chessboard, and he really doesn't care what the chessboard thinks. Now, if you're on his chessboard, he can move you off of the chessboard. He can drop you somewhere else. If you don't like it here, if you don't want people coming here, you might be removed. If you're just a pawn and that's all you are, if you have that kind of mentality, you're nothing but a pawn, then he may just take you and put you somewhere else. So, all right. This is critical. This is a key. Widows, orphans, strangers, and priests is an absolute key as to what's going to be happening here in the near future. So anyway, I want to get this done. I just wanted to run through those tiers. I'm going to maybe go back to and see if the Patreon page loaded, which I'm not going to bet it did, but we'll find out here in a minute. Okay, yeah, it did. So, come on, I told you I was going to be doing video. 18, okay. So this is the intro video. And listen, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you join me on Patreon, if you become a patron, and you want to share, do it. I mean, have at it. Alan Busiek, look him up. Ozark Simple Living University, that was Mike Short. Yeah, what is his thing? It's anyway, he has been helping preppers in Southwest Missouri for a long time. Springfield area, has been running groups in town and whatnot, and he is phenomenal, and he can become one of my patrons and like, share, and subscribe my stuff. I say that because he went away on another one. So now this is what's going to happen. Needless deaths, drive an hour, walk later. In about 2005, my family watched the movie The Druids, which was about Vercingetorix, the great leader in Gaul who stood up to the Romans. The Gauls knew that unless they broke through the lines, they were lost. The Romans, if they could hold their ground, looked forward to the end of all their hardships. He said the fruits of all their previous battles depended on that day, on that very hour. The people failed to heed the wisdom of his advice, and so thousands upon thousands were needlessly hacked and slaughtered. At the time, my son was 14, and he was very wise, pointed out, "It is what you have been saying, Dad. A lot of people die when they think they're smart enough to think for themselves. Younger children are often so much wiser than their elders." And he became smart enough that he thought he could think for himself. Unfortunately, often we need to subject our intellect to that of a greater or more informed mind. Okay, I deliberately did that. I listened to wiser people with more real-life experiences. I ended up relocating to where I am now on the Ozark Plateau. Now, that can happen just by feel, by prayer, by the Holy Spirit, before you're saved, whatever. I talked to a sister today that happened with. 30 years ago, she knew she was going to move here. She didn't get saved till like 2 years ago. So, more needless deaths. One day I was grousing about how many people are going to die needlessly. My granddaughter, 13, said to me, "Grandpa, don't beat yourself up so bad. When judgment falls, people die, the good and the bad. Scriptures say that the tower of Siloam fell on the just and the unjust. That is going to happen. A lot of unjust people are going to die, but a lot of just people are going to die also. They will be good people. They were just dumb people, Grandpa." Wow. Younger children are often so much wiser than elders and have a more intelligent grasp on reality than many adult survivalists and preppers. Okay, I'm not going to go into any more of that, but because I want to try to get this uploaded, and if it gets up before midnight, well, yippee. I really do hope it is. I just would like to get a lot of patrons, partly because I need some help. I have been, my health has required some expenditures. My van has required expenditures. I've been driving for like 6 solid weeks now. Yeah. So anyway, you know, just get on the page. Right there's a big red button there. Boom, become a patron. And I don't have any posts up, I'm sure. Maybe that's my first post. I don't know. Anyway, Navigator, I'll do what I can. My I need to learn how to do some of that. Yeah. So my biggest plan is my main thing is I want to read books. People love to hear me read. I was at having lunch after lunch at the women's retreat where I dropped his sister off at. And this woman comes over and sits down next to me and looks at me and goes, "Is your name Jerry Diamond?" I'm like, "Yeah." Anyway. Now I just pulled up the on Cloud, oddly enough, Google Drive, the attendee list from the First International Goshen Builders Conference. And yeah, she said her husband thought he'd met me, or said he had met me. And well, I go to a lot of meetings. He was there. So anyway, Ozark's brother Jerry. Look him up, subscribe to him, shout out to him. Hey, I saw your name on the list. Thank God for things like Google Cloud. Anyway, so that was pretty neat. I go places and I've seen your map, and things like that. All right, well, I'm going to end this one. It's way too long already. This is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. Please like, share, subscribe. Please become a patron if you can. And as some people say, hey, it's less than a cup of coffee. $3 a month is not much. Pay that for one coffee. That's the cost of one cup of coffee at Starbucks, right? So anyway, okay. Well, do that if you can. Also, but do copy and paste the link, put it on comment sections on other YouTube channels, send it out to your email list if the people you think might be interested. Please do that for me. I'd appreciate it. Any special PayPal donations, dmnds2001@yahoo.com is my email address. That's my PayPal address. And I think I better quit. So my voice is going with or without water. All right. Please help out. Appreciate it. Got a lot of things going on, and it's gonna kick into high gear here. And I think the financial issue is going to be triggered because of widows, orphans, strangers, and priests. I'm here to tell you, I'm making that statement. It's not a prophecy. It's just prophets say things that are in line with the character of Yahweh and with biblical writ, and they come true. So I'm just saying that because it's going to come true. It's there in Scripture. If you don't see it, you're blind as a bat. If you're wearing little tzitzit on your garments and you're not taking care of these people, you are breaking the Torah that you tote. You're a Torah breaker. And there are some people that are harassing widows who claim to be Torah toters. You are in trouble. Okay. All right. This is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. Be a Handcart company. Be a Watchman on the Ramparts. Be a house of healing, or be a captain, a cities of refuge. Well, let's get this going. All right. Hallelujah. Bye-bye. And yes, I'm talking to you.